I just turned the sauna on 10 minutes ago and it's already up over 160 degrees. This dual heater situation is no joke. What's up, friends? Adam Corson here, and today I'm reviewing the Sauna Plus by Nurecover. We'll talk about what I love about this sauna, what I think could be improved, and we'll even put it to the test in real time. Now we have a lot to cover, so let's get right into it. For as big as this sauna is, it came really intentionally packaged, and everything fit into this fairly small box. The branding is on point, and everything was labeled really well, making for a straightforward assembly. Included in the box was a sauna tent, 2 thermocore heaters, the thermometer, 2 chairs, the red LED light, a sweat towel, and the instruction manual. Now there's no designated setup video, but the instructions are very clear and easy to follow. You don't need any tools for assembly, and everything screws together or slides in nice and easily. The toughest part was getting the canvas over the outside of the structure, but with a second set of hands, we were able to get it on in just a few minutes. Overall, I would say that it took about 15 to 20 minutes to set it up the first time, but that would probably be quicker now that I know how to get it all set up. Now let's talk specs. The sauna measures 67.5 inches wide, 72 inches tall, and 51 inches from front to back. It weighs roughly 36 pounds, and it's an octagon shape, which really maximizes the usable space inside. The size of this sauna was really the first thing that stood out to me when I got it all put together, because there really is so much room inside, which is awesome because most of these portable saunas are pretty compact. Now it's rated for up to 4 people, which I think is definitely doable, but I do think it would be a little bit tight depending on the size of the people that you were in the sauna with. However, if you're doing this with just 2 people, there is more than enough room. You can easily stretch out, and a lot of times, since my wife is shorter than 5'6", which is the widest points, she'll actually lay down and she can be fully extended, which is really relaxing. When it comes to build quality, the first thing that jumps out is the stainless steel poles. They screw together, which makes assembly easy, and they're very strong, so they make a solid base. The sauna as a whole definitely feels well built. When it comes to the zippers, they are a little bit on the smaller side, but they're very smooth and they glide easily when opening and closing the sauna. They go about halfway around the sauna, creating a nice big opening for larger individuals or if multiple people are trying to enter and exit the sauna all together. Pro tip with that, whenever you enter or exit the sauna, you always want to try and get in and out as quickly as possible so that you can retain as much heat as possible. If it takes you a while to get in, you're going to lose a lot of heat, and then you're going to have to get that temperature to come back up. Now let's cover the window, which I personally love. This thing is massive. It really opens up the space and it brings in a bunch of nice natural light while you're using the sauna. Now the window material is an industrial grade PEEK, which is a polyether ether ketone. And to be honest, I really didn't know too much about what that meant. So I did some research, and essentially what I learned is that it's a very strong and high heat resistant material. For continuous usage, it can heat up to between 482 and 500 degrees. The melting point is right around 650 degrees, and the decomposition or fume release doesn't happen till over 1,000 degrees. So with all that being said, this window is made for sauna usage, and you can use it with confidence without having to worry about any harmful materials heating up from that window there. Now there wasn't a ton of additional information on the rest of the materials used in the sauna, so I reached out to Nurecover and they sent me over this message. Our saunas have been carefully designed to be safe at their operating temperatures of between 160 and 185 degrees. The tent walls are made from polyester taffeta, a strong, water-resistant fabric commonly used in outdoor gear, and the polyester has a melting point of around 480 degrees, so it remains stable and does not release any harmful fumes or microplastics under normal use. Where padding is needed, we use an EVA foam cover, which is a heat-resistant, non-toxic material that stays safe at sauna temperatures. The flooring material is waterproof, which makes for easy cleanup, and this should really be the only place that you have to clean up. If you were to accidentally brush up against the walls or against the window, I would just wipe it down with a soft cloth, and any water or plant-based cleaning product will do. Just make sure it's non-scented and it's just a gentle one. You don't want a lot of fragrances and things that are going to linger around in there. The red LEDs are battery powered, and you're able to hang them any way that you desire. There's not really any set way to put those up. I do like that they use the red light because it allows you to avoid any sort of blue lights, and if you're using it at night, you don't have to worry about interfering with your melatonin production, your circadian rhythm, anything like that. I will note that the lights are therapeutic, so this is not red light therapy. The stainless steel poles have a foam sleeve over the top, which is important so you don't get burned because the stainless steel will heat up. Lastly, they include a thermometer, which is a nice touch, and inside the sauna is this little hook here to hang it on. Time to talk about the heaters and the electricity requirements. The Sauna Plus comes with 2 carbon ceramic thermocore heaters, and each heater is 1500 watts. Now, something worth mentioning is that you will need 1 dedicated circuit per heater in order to run this sauna. I originally ran both heaters on 1 circuit and it tripped the breaker on me. Now, if you plan to use an extension cord, just make sure you speak with your electrician to make sure that the cord can support the amount of electricity that's going to be flowing through it for these heaters. When it comes to safety, there's dual overheat sensors and thermal cutoff fuses to prevent anything from overheating and just to give them multiple layers of safety, which I really appreciate. Hey, I did quickly want to mention that if you're enjoying this video, I'd really appreciate if you hit that subscribe button down below. Also, if you want more info on this sauna, or maybe you want to purchase one for yourself, I'll post a link in the description. I'll make a small commission if you make that purchase. You'll get a discount at no additional cost, so it's a win-win for both of us. Now let's get into the user experience. I can't stress enough how big it is inside this sauna, and that's such a game changer for me. Personally, I love to host and share the sauna experience with others, which really wasn't possible in the portable sauna world until now. It's also great for stretching, yoga sessions if you're in here solo, and it's tall enough for me to stand fully upright. Something I think would be really cool would be to get a cedar bench in here and to really kind of bring that whole traditional sauna experience all together. The thermocore heaters are very straightforward and easy to use. There's a power button in the center and then buttons on each side to adjust the temperature and time. Something to note is that the max temperature that you can set the heater to is 158 degrees, but it does get hotter than that inside the sauna. The heater pulls fresh air from this opening down here by the floor and then pushes the hot air out of the top of the unit. It does shoot straight up instead of shooting out, which is nice because that heat's not going to blow directly onto your body. I think at this point it's time we do a heat test, so I'm going to let this warm up for 20 minutes and we'll see how hot it gets inside. For reference, the starting temperature is going to be right around 70 degrees. All right, so we just hit the 20-minute mark. I've been in here for a little bit during the heat up, so I'm already nice and sweaty. But I'm going to go ahead and flip us around so we can see what that temperature got up to. So we are currently at just under 170 degrees. It is super hot in here, and from what these heaters are saying, they're at 149 of the 158 degrees that they get up to. So I think that it does have a few more degrees that'll continue to rise. I do really like the dual heaters. They are very hot and it feels like an even heat distribution from one side to the next. And I also like how fast it heats up. So I'll hang out for a few more minutes and see if we can get it above this, but right now we're looking right about 169, 170 degrees. When it comes to detox, it only took about 5 minutes for me to start sweating, and by the time I made it to 20 minutes, I was completely soaked. I also tracked my heart rate to see what kind of strain was put on my body and watched it climb up over 100 beats per minute, proving that the sauna was doing its job. I did lay down a towel on the chair and by my feet, which helped a lot, but it was so hot in here that I ended up sweating all over the ground too. When it comes to off-gassing, I haven't personally noticed any smells or off-gassing at all with this sauna, even during the first few uses. The one thing that is odd to me though is these chairs. I've seen other people reference the size of the chairs and I figured they couldn't be that small, but they're pretty darn small. Let's talk pros and cons. For the pros, the first one is the space. You can do a yoga session, you can stand, you can lay down, and you can have multiple people inside the sauna using it at once, which I love. Next pro is the 2 heaters. This is a game changer. This allows the sauna to heat up very fast, and although I haven't quite gotten it up to 185 degrees yet, it still gets very hot and leaves you very sweaty. Next pro is the window. This truly makes it feel huge inside. No more feeling boxed in or claustrophobic when it comes to these portable saunas. Now for the cons. The first off is the chair. I know I mentioned this before, but I do think it'd be really cool to put a bench in here since the sauna is large, but I understand that the chairs make more sense when it comes to the portability aspect of the sauna. They could definitely be a little bit bigger though. Next is the zippers. They are a bit less heavy duty than others I've seen, but they do function as they should, so we'll see how they play out over time. And the last con is the lights. Battery powered means that you need to change those out versus having USB or a plug-in, and there's really no benefit to the light other than the vibe that it sets. I will mention though that these lights were really easy to hang and you can put them up any way that you'd like, which isn't always the case when it comes to these LED light strips. Overall, the Nurecover Sauna Plus really impressed me. It gets hot, it's well constructed, and it does everything you would hope for in a sauna. Now, I try and be as detailed as I can in these reviews, but if I miss anything at all, feel free to drop it in the comments below. And if you aren't yet subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. That way you can continue to follow along and I can continue to grow this channel. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.